Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here with the Fast Lane Car, and next to me is a 2014 Lexus CT200H F-Sport. What that basically means, it's a CT200H with nicer wheels, black roof, interior upgrades, and new for 2014 on all CT200Hs, new front end, new rear end, and well, basically that's about it. A little bit of stuff on the inside too. Question is it worth around $42,000? Find out next. Now, before I get into the somewhat new exterior, quick point here. We've driven this vehicle before, we've evaluated it before, we've done videos with it before. In fact, a lot of vehicles that we bring to the track, we either have done a video about it or we're going to do a video about it. One of the reasons we like to come here is because, well, it's a legal and safe place to do 0 to 60 tests and to see what its performance is like above what you would normally do, let's say, on a highway. So, well, you know, this is an awesome place to do it. So, now let's talk about the exterior. New front end, new rear end, LED lights, black top on the F-Sport, F-Sport badges, and pretty nifty looking wheels. Otherwise, it's pretty recognizable as a CT200H, which is, by the way, based on the Scion TC platform. I still think it's pretty good looking. This is where the performance look kind of falls apart because this is not a performance power plant. What you're looking at here is a 1.8 liter Atkins cycle engine hooked up to an electric power plant, and combined it puts out 134 horsepower. That ain't a lot, especially for a vehicle that weighs over 3,100 pounds. It's hooked up to a CVT transmission, and the good news is it gets 43 miles per gallon city, 40 miles per gallon highway, and a combined 42 miles per gallon. So it gets amazing mileage and it handles pretty good. It's just, well, there's just not enough horsepower. And, well, bottom line, there's not enough horsepower.
Wish me luck. Come on, baby. Come on. Good brakes. I mean, they're energy recovery brakes, so they feel a little different than your regular brakes would on a sports car or whatnot, but they stopped the car pretty quickly. 12.1 seconds. So 11.7 the fastest. Oh, by the way, when you're driving this vehicle on the highway, passing power is really freaking good. So really the main issue is 0 to 60 times, having power out of the corners. And we're going to find out more about that next.
On top of the exterior, you know, the new nose, the new LEDs, the new rear and all that, the interior has been somewhat updated, and that includes an infotainment system that has been updated. And if you get the F-Sport, you get a slightly different steering wheel and a leather-wrapped itty-bitty-bitty-bitty gear lever. So you take all of that, and then on top of that, add the fact that you are able to take your display, your IP, and actually change it completely when you're in regular mode, eco mode, and then of course sport mode. You have an interior that is actually very flexible, but best of all, the material quality is Lexus good, so it's very comfortable and everything in here feels high quality. With that being said, it has a very small back seat and a very, very small trunk. What you're looking at here is 14.3 cubic feet behind the rear seats. It ain't a lot. In fact, in any class that's a hatchback, it's not a lot. But at least you have the utility of having room here for a couple golf bags, groceries, what have you. The lift in height is pretty low. And once again, it's a hatchback, so once you put down the rear seats and everything, it's kind of like a wagon.
And a leisurely start. So, yeah, God, the nose is heavy. The first thing you'll notice when you go into sport mode is that the steering definitely firms up. I like the weight of the steering a lot. I love heavy steering. Recently, I went and test drove a Alfa Romeo 4C, and I had a chance to take it on the track and everything else. And one of the cool things about that car is that it has manual steering, something you don't see every day. In fact, something that is extremely rare. And I love the feel, I love the heft of it. You just gotta burl up and go, yeah, my man, I'm gonna make this thing happen. You usually don't get that with cars, but funny thing is, considering the fact that this is a hybrid, it's actually allowing for some heft on the steering. I like that. God, I just wish this thing had power. It just doesn't want to get out of any of the corners, and this traction control is really intrusive. It just jumps in there and it says, I am intruding, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, come on, come on, come on, more and more and more. Nah, foot's all the way down. It's just... foot's all the way down. It's not bad. It's a hell of a lot better than a Prius. I think I could do a little bit better with the traction control off, because there are a couple spots where I need a little bit more juice. I'm thinking it's about 1:20. I'm guessing 1:20. Man, I'm good. Just under 1:21. So yeah, here we go. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I know this car could do a little bit better. Tell you what, want to rig it up again? Do one more and I'll take the traction control off. All right, thanks, Andre. Here we go again. Okay, away we go. Sorry, guys. Uncle Nathan's tired and I'm not up to my normal form. Hey, this is already doing a little bit better. What it did was it spun the tire, and rather than the brakes come down aggressively to insist that I maintain control with traction, you just let it spin a little bit. Come on. Yeah, it's working better. Hey, this thing's okay. Now you guys might be wondering why, when I do these drives, I'm not clipping the apex more at a track like this. And there's a very simple reason for that. And that's because I'm really concerned about the fact that I can go off in dirt like that, which I pretty much just did. The turns are tighter than a lot of these cars can handle, so I'm doing my best just to figure out the best way to accelerate out of the curve. See, with the traction control off, mistakes like that, that's a corner that I tend to make that same mistake at too, by the way. But remember, this is real world reviews. I'm a real world type of guy, and I'm trying really hard to make this damn thing. He's motioning me on, but yeah. It's kind of fun, and that's a lot for a hybrid. Kind of fun is pretty good. All right, let's turn the traction control back on before I end up killing somebody. About the same? Slower. You know what happened? I went into the dirt over there. Did you see that? Yeah, you did see that, didn't you? Yeah, that's what killed it. I think I would have knocked the second off, but you know what? It's just proof positive that the sport mode does work a little bit, and taking traction control off, not a great idea. All right, but tell you what, we're gonna do a slow lap, and I'm gonna tell you what I think of this car, because I actually think it's better than I made it sound. I've been trying to think about this vehicle in terms of the vehicles it competes against, because Infiniti, Acura, BMW, and now even Mercedes have vehicles that do compete in the same class for the low to mid $40,000 range. For an entry-level Lexus, for a somewhat luxurious, sporty-ish car, I think it's actually pretty damn good. So where does this sit? Where does the Lexus CT200H sit? Well, right in the middle, and I'll tell you why. Looks-wise and efficiency-wise, it kills a lot of those cars. And the point is that performance-wise, they all would absolutely murder this car. and that's because they have more usable power.
The interior is terrific, good amenities, very comfortable, and the efficiency, I mean, 42 miles per gallon combined, that's amazing. So that part's really good.
With that said, around town and overall performance on the streets, this thing is pretty good. I like what it gives you for the money. It is a very tight car, so it's pretty small feeling.
If it were the old rating system of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'd definitely give it a lease it, because I think there are a lot of people who like entry-level vehicles like this and like a little tiny bit of utility, and that's what this is about. And I think that around $40,000, you know, 41 in this case, that's not a bad price for the car. So altogether, in terms of a real-world view, this car covers all the bases except for one: high performance. For the Fastlane Car, this is Nathan Nadlin. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and reviews. Ciao.